to approach lawyers in their cases. So what does FIDA do in this case?
FIDA, like I mentioned earlier, we carry out legal activities, legal aid and representation. So in a case of this nature, when we get a complaint, so the first thing is for the victim here, the complainant, to come forward and lodge a complaint, and then FIDA will spring into action, especially with the consent of the complainant. And then we have lawyers. We have lawyers on standby that will take up their matters absolutely free. These services are free. You do not have to pay any dime to get any lawyer on your case, because it is a matter of rights. And at FIDA, we take it absolutely of great importance. So it's for the complainant to come forward and lodge this complaint, and you would have a lawyer assigned to you free of charge, without any charges, honestly. So the first thing we do is to take up the matter, and then a lawyer is assigned. If it is a matter that goes beyond mediation or usual counseling, then we take the matter up onto the courtroom, and then the rest, they say, is history.
Yeah. Okay. In the legal language, so it's on pro bono.
Very well, pro bono.
Okay. Now, let's come back to the workplace. Now, our guest last week, she said something about barriers, breaking the barriers. Now, I just want to take us back to those barriers. Like I said earlier, some people also don't know that their rights are violated. And it comes with information, education. A lot of Nigerians don't know their fundamental rights. Now, as women, who we feel that in some organizations are being oppressed, what should they do in terms of that?
In the workplace, where women feel that their rights are being abused, or probably don't even know their rights. Okay, let me just quickly talk about enlightenment and awareness campaign by FIDA. FIDA does this enlightenment campaign, so whereby women are able to know what next step to take where they are suffering some form of violence or discrimination, be it workplace, be it in their homes or anywhere around them. So the next thing for any woman to do is to speak up, because we find out that women find it difficult speaking up in when they're experiencing any form of abuse. But even in the workplace, women hardly speak up. So the first step is for women to speak up. After speaking up, the appropriate ears will definitely pick it up and take action on it. But where the woman does not speak up, there's nothing anyone can do, because it actually comes from what the person suffering the violence wants. Everything is based on the person, the victim. If the victim wants it resolved, the victim speaks up. But if the victim stays silent, probably she doesn't want it resolved.
Okay. Just to add to that, so you said what we can do, especially in the workplace. So we need to put policies in place.
Okay.
We need to put policies in place. We enforce workplace sexual harassment policy. For instance, in the mid-level career, in my journey, I'm not sure. I can't go into an organization without seeing their workplace policy. So it needs to be spelled out, and then the enforcement of these policies needs to also be, be put in place. For instance, the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act discriminates. Describe expressly states that there should not be a workplace, sexual harassment, and then we need this particular law to be domesticated in all states of the federation. Also, I think the ILO, that's the International Labour Organization. Okay. These policies are what organization needs to look out for, and then We also have the gender responsive procurement policies, that talks about, workplace sexual harassment and how it can be channeled. Also, in our private or in our business establishments, there needs to be set aside a reporting channel. A lot of business owners don't even understand what are these reporting channels. For instance, if a boss is the person, perpetrating this particular form of abuse, you can't even report in that aspect. But then there should be a neutral, room, a neutral, space where you can actually report this kind of harassment when it happens in the workplace. Thank you.
Okay. And just like you said earlier, you said when we talk about sexual harassment, it's not gender-based. It's human rights abuse. Now, for someone, maybe let's move away from women now. Because we hear also that men are sexually abused also.
Absolutely.
That's true.
So what can a man who has been sexually abused, what can he do? Does he also have a right to go to the court?
Yes, he has a right.
Okay.
Because the courts, the sexual violence courts are not established simply for women. It's for anyone that has been experiencing or has experienced sexual violence or harassment.
Okay.
So the men can actually approach the courts as well.
And it speaks more to public enlightenment. I wish everyone would understand that sexual abuse, sexual harassment, it is not a gender issue. It is a human rights matter. So we need to start that conversation from there, where you understand that my right has been violated, where I understand that your right, you have a right to be respected, you have a right to your body, human dignity, no degradation of any kind. We need to start that conversation that everyone deserves to be respected, either a child, a man, or a woman. We all have a right that needs to be respected.
Now, talking about women advancement, let's come to it critically now. Sometimes, somehow, we live in a society where somehow women are oppressed. They are not allowed to know in some parts of this country, in some states, you hear some men saying that sending women to school is just a waste of money. It's just a waste of time, and the rest of them. Now, how do we promote that women advancement? Apart from advocacy, which you people are doing, the FIDA is doing, what again can we do to promote women advancement?
Thank you. From my standpoint, the government has a lot to do in this regard. The government must begin to, enforce some of the laws we have, to begin to talk about it, that women education, starting from the girl child. The girl child has to be in school. I know that, there's some laws that is against not having any child on a particular within the school age. Any child not in school is a crime. So, but the government needs to actually back it up with enforcement and emphasize that children and girl child must be educated. So by the time a girl child is educated, she grows up to be a woman. She knows her, she's enlightened, she's educated, she's able to handle different things. Her mind is exposed to a whole lot of things, and then whatever comes her way, she has a little bit of let me use the word sense to handle some of these things. So that's on the part of the government. And then even in homes, or as citizens of Nigeria, men, women, we need to take a stand to ensure that our children are educated, and particularly our girl child. There's a saying which says that train a girl child and then you train the nation. You train the whole human race by extension. So this is important until people begin to, think in this light that the girl child is actually important to the development of the nation. They will begin to know that it is compulsory to actually educate the girl child. That's on the part of Nigerian citizens as a whole, apart from government putting in place laws and enforcing the laws. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, just to add to what my colleague has said. So we need to have like a societal and cultural change. Yes, laws are made for people, not, and it is the human race that actually determines this culture and these laws. So we need to engage more men as allies. We need to, it's like I said, it's not a woman thing, it's a human thing. So we need men. We need men to come on board. We need institutions. We need the religious body. We need the cultural, the traditional people. We need all hands on deck. We need allies. We need men allies to combat this issue of violence against women and girls. And then we need the media advocacy. There's so much everyone can do. So we need all hands to be on deck. We need partnership. But let's say if we have jingles flying out like here and there, everyone is talking about it, from primary school, secondary school, higher institution, everyone is aware. We need to be conscious of this conversation. And then we need to start eliminating some traditional practices. These things are no longer they're no longer necessary. For instance, female genital mutilation, widowhood practices, women not being able to, take up their parents' or their husband's properties. We need to start eradicating or eliminating some of these, harmful traditional practices. Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, a comment. Say good morning, Lagoon Radio. This is Yew, and I want to commend FIDA for all they are doing. Please, where can I get FIDA? Where are their addresses? Is there a location where someone can locate FIDA?
Yes, absolutely. So,
okay.
Thank you so much, YEWANDE, right?
Sheung.
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. So, currently in Lagos, we have 5 branches of FIDA. We have FIDA Lagos, and the address is at 1416 Makoko Road, off about Macaulay Way, Yaba, Lagos. We have FIDA branch in Ikorodu. We have in Ekpe. We have in Badagry, and recently we have one in Ikeja. So it's not. Let me borrow the line. It's not moi. Like, we are serious. Yes, we are serious. And to think that we have 36 states in Nigeria, but then FIDA we have 46 branches cut across the federation. So we have, and then you can also, take our numbers, and you want to reach out to us. We hold our legal clinic every Thursday at Makoko Road, Yaba, Lagos. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, time is usually 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Yeah.
On weekdays?
Weekdays, Thursdays, every Thursdays. Yeah.
Okay, Sheung, you can get that. Okay, in conclusion now, when we talk about all this, we've talked about eliminating some traditions and, yes, advocacy and the rest of them, also government. But there is something also I think that we are misplacing or we are forgetting. Something like, can we say also poverty is also a tool that is limiting women advancement in Nigeria? What do we have to say about poverty? Because some people, they will tell you, I don't have the money to send a girl child to school. Or the basic information they are supposed to get, they don't. What's the role of poverty on this?
Thank you. Poverty is a big issue, particularly in this part of the world. And when we say poverty, it's not limited to just resources. Poverty is of the mind. There's poverty of the mind as well. And I think to a very large extent, poverty of the mind is what is preventing people from educating their girl child. And it's also what is responsible for the poverty of women, which translates to poverty of resources for most women. So, like you said, that people will feel they don't have money to educate the girl child or whatever. But such a person may have money to educate the boy child, right? That's where
Yes.
discrimination sets in. That's discrimination against the girl child. And apart from that, I think, even if you cannot afford the private schools, at least basic education in Nigeria today
It's
is
free.
provided by the government. So, talking about money is no issue. So, in that regard, we're talking poverty of the mind. So, and then for the women, sometimes some of these women can actually do very little things to make money. But because, they are wired to believe that, okay, the woman must sit at home and all of that. That is why they continue to wallow in poverty. They lose their rights. They don't even have a say in anything that pertains to them. They don't even have a voice regarding their body. But we preach financial independence for women. It is very important. Financial independence for the woman is very important. Even if the woman is selling pure water, she can make a living out of that. And there are some businesses women do not require so much money to start, just to ensure that they are financially independent. They can make little decisions on their own if they have their own resources. So that will take care of an aspect, poverty on regarding women.
Okay.
Yeah, just to add to what my colleague has said, so financial independence is absolutely necessary. Also, we need to understand another metrics, which is the unpaid care work. Like women involved in unpaid care work. Like for instance, if I'm a woman and then I'm home all day, all night, I'm working.
Yes.
That's a job. That's a full-time job compared to a man that goes out and you even have break time. Some offices you have 1 p.m. then you have 3:30 p.m. But a woman, you sit at. That's why most times when I say housewife, there is nothing like housewife.
No, there's nothing like housewife.
There is nothing.
Workaholic.
See, I rather want to be and bury my head in the office than sit in the house. I'm sorry. Because that department, that unit, that job description is a lot.
It's a non-stop
And it is,
work.
unpaid care work.
That's
So
deep.
we need to start some conversation around this. Thank God for what the UN Women is doing in the whole care economy program that is coming up. So we need to, this conversation, it's a lot. It's a lot. Probably it's a story for another day, not now, since we're already, winding up. Yeah.
Okay, just like you said, that it will be a story for another day. But in conclusion, before you leave, in just a few seconds, what would be your advice, maybe to the society at large? DORCAS first. What would be your, to the society?
All right. Thank you so much. So, I could urge everyone to see this conversation as a human rights conversation. It is not a woman's thing. See, if you come for my rights, I will bite you because it is God's given rights. It is not a woman's thing. It is a human right matter. So please, I urge everyone to start seeing a woman's matter as a human's matter, not a woman thing. Thank you so much.
Okay, to the government and the citizens, what would be your own advice?
Yeah, thank you. My advice to the government is to ensure enforcement of the rights of women. The government is trying, but they can do more. Let's have women in places of leadership. Take, for example, the current National Assembly. Look at as far as I'm concerned, it's a boys' club. Yes, it's a boys' club. We need more women in positions to be able to move women forward for the advancement of women. So government should look into that. And then to the society at large, women are important in whatever role anyone is playing. So women should be accorded that right of being listened to, of being made to, to anything that will make her advance. Women needs to be supported in every aspect. And, in the workplace, let's talk about the workplace, but the workplace should actually have systems to support women, like what my colleague talked about, channels to report abuse, creche for, nursing mothers, having to women work during pregnancy. I think, it's a whole lot. The body is taking a whole lot with the pregnancy.
Maternity leave. Paid maternity
Yes, paid maternity leave. Yes. It's very important for women.
Slashed payment. Paid. Payment.
Exactly. So these are things that, we need to start talking about, and will translate to the advancement of women. Thank you.
Okay, we hope the government is listening. And for you, the citizen who is there listening, make sure you advance. Don't let the world push you. Just keep pushing. That's our message this morning. We must sincerely thank you, Barrister DORCAS, for coming on the show this morning. And Barrister YEWANDE too, we must sincerely appreciate you. And thanks to FIDA for what they are doing. And just like you heard, it's on pro bono. So whatever you feel, if you can't get across, come to us here. We'll give you the address to meet FIDA, and your problems will be solved. Thank you for listening to the program this morning. It returns again next week, same time. From me, ANOSIKE, CHIMEZIE, and our producer, Sandra Nche, it's goodbye, and do have a lovely day.